All right, so we got another fun one. This is a really fun one, actually. This is yeah. Go ahead, take it away.
All right. Jennifer Rubin, one of just the grossest resistance libs you will ever find, has started her own outlet. So let's see her. This was recently. This made the rounds a little bit. This is her doing the kind of voter outreach that the liberal class is famous for at a 92nd Street Y appearance, December 30th.
People ask me all the time, why is the media so mamsy-pamsy? And there are two explanations. One is they are convinced that if they would just move a little bit to the right, all those MAGA readers out there, now you'll notice the contradiction in terms, MAGA readers, would pick up the Washington Post and they would have more readers. What is the logical fallacy here? Yes, reader. And there is nothing that the Washington Post could possibly do that would have those people take out a subscription. But they're convinced they're in there someplace.
Stand up, the American.
Yeah, it's not that the Washington Post is a propaganda rag with no content to recommend it. It's that they don't read. They don't read. So, whenever I hear things like this from libs, I always say, well, so how much do you suck that you're losing this badly to people that, according to you, don't even read?
They can't read.
If they can't read, why do you keep losing to them? What is wrong with you? Are you admitting that you're so intrinsically repulsive that people who haven't mastered the alphabet can beat you in an election?
Right.
I mean that's the only conclusion you could draw, right? It always reminds me of the train spotting line. Everyone hates the British. I don't. They're just wankers. We, on the other hand, have been colonized by wankers.
Right. Yeah.
So Glenn Greenwald had a little fun with this. Given Jen Rubin finally quit the Washington Post to start a blog called The Contrarian with Norm Eisen, senior fellow of the Brookings Institution, totally known for contrarianism. Here's my absolute favorite TV clip from the Queen of Partisan Dreck. All right, so this is a classic where she calls out Bill O'Reilly on championing the lock her up chant.
You've made excuses for the lock her up comment. You've pleaded with Ted Cruz, and he's really an honest man.
When did I make excuses for lock her up? What did I exactly say?
Let's see. That would have been on. Let's see if I have the date exactly. It would have been on. Lock her up would have been on. In April and also in August. In October, if you remember, Charles Krauthammer came on and had a very vigorous argument.
Wait a minute. What did I say about in April and August? What exactly did I say?
Right. Well, we can go through all of them.
No, I want that one.
Which one in particular?
April or August.
Okay.
Bill O'Reilly's the most tragic casualty of Me Too. He really is. Like, America deserves him back.
Yeah. Well, hey, now with the new regime,
maybe they can revive Bill O'Reilly.
He might be back. So
we should give him a show. No, there's more of that. I just paused it to make that comment. No, the best part of that's coming up.
Let's see. In August, we had comments that you were going to. You would, if somebody is being really dishonest, referring to the press corps, you would strip them of their credentials as well. Doesn't sound like an independent thing.
That doesn't have anything to do with lock them up. You are ill prepared for this interview, Ms. Rubin.
No, I'm not. I have a whole list here.
Ms. Rubin, I have just given you a minute where you've hemmed and hawed. You said you said I justified a comment, lock her up. You can't point to it, and then you pivot to something else.
Yes,
You're ill prepared for this, and this is the point I want to make.
Bill.
This is the point I want to make. Your column and blog are fraud. We have been tough on Trump here, and I'm going to roll some tape.
No, it's not.
Oh,
you play this little montage for all your guests.
It
shows the three things that you said mean about him.
That guy's a pro.
Oh my God! Just the mind of somebody who could hear that woman's voice and not just bust an aneurysm. I can't even imagine somebody listening to that by choice for pleasure.
Well,
this
now
is this is hey, they've been giving them shit about CIA black sites at Guantanamo. You know, you want something that'll pass muster with Amnesty International, make them listen to this. They'll give up the secrets right away.
right, exactly, yeah.
So here's an example of the kinds of insights she shares. Once again, our friend Michael Tracy, who does great work. Jennifer Rubin declares Bernie ungracious and inflexible for refusing to apologize for opposing the Iraq War, which Rubin and Crystal supported vociferously, yet both have nonetheless managed to leverage their shallow anti-Trumpism into huge platforms in resistance media. So Bernie here, this is 2019. I think it's when he was still running. Have you apologized to the nation for your foolish advocacy of the Iraq War? I actually remember this. I make no apologies for opposing it. There's Bill Kristol. Nope. I dislike quasi-Stalinists. See, everything goes back to the Soviet Union with these people. Stalinist demands for apologies. I've defended and will defend my views on Iraq and Syria and Milosevic and the Soviet Union and more as you defend yours. How about a real debate on U.S. foreign policy? I'll ask for no apologies on a campus this fall. To which Jennifer Rubin responds, this is a perfect example of why ungracious, inflexible Bernie would be a disastrous candidate. Just on a human level, he is unlikable. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Yeah.
I before you start calling other people unlikable, like you are like the Yenta Strega of resistance media.
Yeah.
Okay, and this one. Wow. The MAGA squirrel deserved to die.
You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
All right. So big news. There's just a couple days ago, the 13th. Big news. I've left the Post. Corporate and billionaire media are failing to meet the moment. You see, she doesn't mind billionaire and corporate-owned media, but it's failing to meet the moment. Apparently, she was very discomfited about Bezos' decision not to endorse. With Norm Eisen, I'm launching Contrarian News. All right, we'll get more of that. Oh, and because I want to be true to my values, I'm leaving X. I refuse to enable the Elon Trump presidency. Now, what's really funny to me, I must say, about all of these media political figures leaving X is they are dooming themselves to virtual irrelevancy. Most people do not want to be in that kind of an echo chamber. CNN even did a report showing X now pretty much reflects the population. It's about 50-50 between people who identify as conservative and people who identify as left, liberal, what have you. Is Blue Sky going to have a place in the cultural and social conversation that they anticipated to have? No, absolutely no way. CNN can't even get an audience. Do you think the remaining 17 people who watch CNN all going to Blue Sky are going to get one? This was the announcement, which I got to say, man, this is really a Christopher Guest sketch. You know, Christopher Guest is old now. You know, he probably doesn't really have his finger on the pulse. But man, if Christopher Guest in his prime were really working today, he might do something about the cringe nature of the podcasting / commentariat world. And this would and what's his name? Eisen here. He actually looks like Eugene Levy, which is
this looks like a sketch. This is like when you wander into the spare bedroom at the Passover Seder in a house that you're not all that familiar with. You walk in on
calling
something.
it the Contrarian.
Yeah.
These two. All right. So that having been said, you can judge for yourself.
Hi, I'm Jen Rubin.
And I'm Norm Eisen.
I am here to announce I am leaving the Washington Post in order to co-found with Norm an exciting new online platform, The Contrarian. We are going to bring you written material, podcasts, interviews, social media, all in defense of democracy. Our intent is to combat the authoritarian force that we all face. To help us, we have an exciting array of contributors from all walks of life, all ages, all backgrounds to help us in this venture.
We're going to do politics. We're going to do law. But we know that any successful pro-democracy movement also has to be very vocal about culture. We'll have a humor column. We'll even have a cooking column. But we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of pro-democracy flavor.
And we're going to have pets. We're very pro-pets. So please.
Well, apparently not squirrels.
Journey. We cannot do this without you. We want your contributions, your input, your ideas.
Thank you for joining the Contrarian.
I mean, I'm sorry. That is some best in show shit right there.
We're going to have humor. We're going to have cooking. We're going to have pet care. We're going to have written articles and podcasts and interviews. Wow, this seems like a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah, yes, people are really clamoring to get a dose of what the idea of this editorial team's humor sensibility would be. What they would consider humor. Yeah, we need to watch you two making Kugel while trading Henny Youngman one-liners back and forth.
What is the thing? Like, Jennifer Rubin and like Don Lemon is the same thing. Even Chris Cuomo, as I understand, his podcast is a little more successful. I don't really know why. I would kind of lump them in. They're basically the same category of people. Mm-hmm. They are who the corporate media was made for, because they're kind of like, okay, they get hired as part of a package deal, right? When you start an outlet like a podcast or an independent project, you're not part of a package deal. You are the deal. Like, you are the product. If people don't like you, why would they subscribe to you? Like, you could subscribe to the Washington Post, and as part of your subscription to the Washington Post, every once in a while, you're going to get a Jennifer Rubin op-ed. She comes with the package. It's part of the paper. Who's going to actually go out and specifically seek out paywalled content by Jennifer Rubin? And Don Lemon, same thing. Chris Cuomo, same thing. Like, I guess they all do it because once you get that kind of exposure, you just get
Don Lemon's numbers
followers.
Are terrible. We do better than Don Lemon.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, you can make it happen, at least, I guess. But with her, like, she's not as big a star as Don Lemon. She's an op-ed writer who does cringe interviews every once in a while on TV. But we'll see. Hey, I wish them the best. That's a fallback. I mean, I'm a funny Jew. I could write for their humor column if all else fails.
Yeah.
Nice to have a fallback career.
Let's reach out. Let's see if she'll come on.
We should write them a column on spec. Say, hey, we wrote this on spec. This is for your consideration in your humor column.
We understand you're branching into humor. We wrote a funny recipe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So some of the responses are great. Find yourself someone who looks at you like Jennifer Rubin looks at Norm Eisen. POV from Libs of TikTok. POV, you died and went to hell. Well said. Walter Kern. Gilbert Gottfried does the aristocrats.
Yeah.
So, in terms of can she make a business out of it of the kind she's describing? Who knows? Those 92nd Street Y people who thought the idea that MAGA and reading as a contradiction in terms was the height of wit and absolutely hilarious. Are there enough of them to cough up $5 a month for her to be making a nice living? Yeah, maybe. It seems like they can get that anywhere for free. So it's not clear why you'd pay Jennifer Rubin for more of it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could give them, somewhat of a lifeline is the Washington Post is losing subscribers like crazy. Like, I heard their traffic is down 90%. So there is an exodus.
Are you just serious? Is it 90%?
It's really, really, really bad. I saw a headline.
Wow.
I saw a Breaking Points thumbnail that said it
Live
was
by
down
the
90%.
lib, die by the lib.
Right, exactly. So, just like, the collapse of a network like TYT creates an opening for some of the smaller channels in their lane to sort of absorb some of that audience. Yeah, some of that WaPo exit is good for her for leaving.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of those people maybe, are there enough Marvin Applebaums out there?
hey, I'm glad she's doing it.
Bezos stabbed us in the back. I'm with Jen.
Exactly. There could be some of them out there. And actually, I mean, it's kind of an exciting development as a shit-talking podcaster ourselves because, you know, I'm assuming they're going to give us a wealth of material.
Yes, that's true. It's so yes. There's like Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's like Hanukkah. So best of luck, Jen Rubin and Norm Eisen, for sure.
Yes.
Mazel
tov.
Mazel tov. That's right. Best wishes.
Please clap.